Welcome to Britain Fights Back. Known as a communist tyrant, Starmer has sought to crush civil liberties and freedoms across the UK. A well-known Fabian Wolf, in sheep's clothing, with a communist one world order, no borders goal in mind. This is not the goal of the majority of British folk, whether those folk are black, brown, white, yellow, or grey with green spots. But now Starmer has gone beyond locking people up for words he disagrees with.
Then mark my words, we will fight you with everything we have.
He's now taken away much of the security detail of one particular democratically elected member of parliament and then called upon his rabid supporters to go into battle.
So let me say this, because whilst we must come together to fight reform with everything that this movement has, we must go into that battle armed, not just with words and condemnation, but with action.
And I want to give you this new information. I thought long and hard about whether I should share this, but given Nigel is obviously a very close friend, and in my view a hero in this country, and he's the bookmaker's favourite to be the next Prime Minister, I do think it is in the public interest to know that just 2 weeks ago, the authorities decimated Nigel's security detail. They reduced it by 75%. So 2 weeks ago, the authorities reduced Nigel's security detail by 75%. Now, I want to be clear to Reform supporters. Thankfully, we've had generous donors step in to shore up that security. So I can assure you, Nigel is safe and he is well protected. But that places into context this hideous campaign of incitement to violence against the man who is the bookmaker's favourite to be the next Prime Minister. The truth of the matter is this: Keir Starmer knows he's so far behind in the polls, he's betrayed the British people so much that there is no chance that he's going to beat Nigel at the ballot box. So he has embarked on, frankly, an unprecedented campaign of incitement to violence against him. It's disgusting. He needs to apologise now.
Armed, not just with words or condemnation, but with action.
Because whilst we must come together to fight reform with everything that this movement has, we must go into that battle armed, not just with words and condemnation, but with action.
This, of course, goes beyond dirty politics. This is inciting violence. This is a call to arms. This brings about a clear and present danger to anyone who does not agree with the dictatorship of Starmer's politics. Here Lammy, not known for his intellect, lies in an interview.
I will leave it for the public to come to their own judgments about someone who once flirted with Hitler Youth when he was younger. That is for the public.
By November 1945, the Hitler Youth group was disbanded by Allied authorities as part of the denazification process. Nigel Paul Farage was born on the 3rd of April, 1964 in Farnborough, Kent, some 19 years after the German youth movement was disbanded. And then after a swift phone call from Farage.
He has denied it, and so I accept that he has denied it, and I would like to clarify that position because in the end the Prime Minister was keen for us to focus on the policies, not the individual.
Let's talk about one of the Labour.
The point is, Lammy stood in front of a camera and told a bare-ass lie about a fellow parliamentarian, to the extent of calling Farage a Nazi supporter. He could have had no knowledge linking Farage to the disbanded group. So when he says he believed, he must reveal the information that led him to his conclusion. It's not a matter of an apology, it's a matter of libel.
It has been obsessive, whether it's the Home Secretary, whether it's the Health Secretary. It is a constant attack on me and what I stand for and what we as Reform UK, a party that has led the opinion polls now for over 100 polls. It's an attack on everything that we stand for and believe in. What I've learnt this week is that the government are incapable of beating us on our arguments. And as a result, the Prime Minister has decided to descend into the gutter and all of his cabinet with him. Let us be clear. Reform want illegal migrants deported from our country. And as I speak, a further 400 have crossed the English Channel today. Reform want the benefit system to be for UK citizens, for British citizens only, not for foreign-born nationals. Reform want foreign criminals removed from our country ASAP. Labour says these policies are racist and immoral, and by implication, Reform supporters, Reform voters, Reform sympathisers are racist too. Yes, if you think we should control our borders, you are, by the definition of the Prime Minister and his cabinet, all racists.
Up until a week or so ago, those waving British flags were labelled with unacceptable language by a Labour council.
Rose Hill, and I'm sorry, but I'm not playing. I won't be taking lectures on our national flag and extremism from a councillor that has the audacity to speak in almost glowing terms in his question to this council about Operation Raise the Colours. Operation Raise the Colours. An organised and orchestrated attempt by a bunch of criminals, extremists, nonces, to hijack our national flag.
While other Labour councils were ripping down those British flags. Those raising the colours, or waving their flags at rallies, were called far-right, racist thugs.
Now, I got to take a moment and give it up to my brothers over there in the UK. Well, my brothers, my sister, my brethren. You know, mandem. I got to give it up to y'all. Y'all have finally figured this thing out. They cannot beat you in numbers. Now, today is, I can't even call it a protest. It's so much bigger than that. It is a showing out of more than 3 million true Brits of all creeds and colors who came together to fight for their damn country. Now, if you don't know some of the things that have been taking place in the UK, I suggest that you inform yourself.
Until Starmer realised there were millions of working Brits proud of their flags, and so ordered every one of his dribbling disciples to wave them during his speech. Here Yvette Cooper gaslights the public by reversing the table to call anyone who is not in their anti-British socialist movement a plastic patriot.
Because unlike the plastic patriots in Reform, we in Labour are proud to be British, proud of our values, and we know what our flag really means.
Stephen Barrett, well-known British barrister of law, tweeted, "I think that they are inciting violence and that Merseyside police should investigate."
Well, I think David Lammy must resign immediately. And then I would call upon Merseyside police to carry out an investigation into the Labour Party that there are a large number of offences, and I don't want to get bogged down in technicalities, that the public broadly know as incitement to violence.
You can leave your take on this in the box below, and become part of our fast-growing community. But until next time, I'll just say stay calm, stay safe, and we'll chat again soon.